I'm Alexandria Ikamoni. Thanks for joining us for Local 4 News Midday. Starting with devastating news out of New Zealand. At least 49 people dead and another 20 injured in the mosque mass shooting early this morning. Officials say one of the shooters live streamed the attack on Facebook. Police there have called the attacks planned and coordinated. They say 3 men and a woman were taken into custody. 2018 was a record-breaking year for car thefts in Quad Cities. Now locals are trying to protect themselves and keep their cars and homes safe. As you reported last year, that number topped well over 800 in the Quad Cities metro area. It's leaving victims searching for not only their missing car, but also some peace of mind. Tonight, tune into a special report on a program bringing parents behind bars together with their kids. Local 4's Mike Mickle brings us One Day with God at 6:30 on Local 4 and re-airing at 9 on the Quad Cities CW. The Carroll County Sheriff is investigating a fatal rollover crash. 62-year-old Mitchell Tim of Mount Carroll died. His pickup truck was found off the roadway near the intersection of Loran Road and Switzer Road. A preliminary investigation shows the truck was traveling south on Loran Road Wednesday night, rounded a curve, hit an embankment and fence, and then turned over. No word on conditions leading up to this crash. One of the 50 people indicted in the nationwide college admissions scandal has ties to Illinois. Elizabeth Mayer Kimmel is on the First Busy Corporation's board of directors, operating numerous banks in Illinois. Kimmel is accused of paying hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes to get her kids into college. We spoke to the University of Illinois about their protections against scams like this, and they say there are layers of firewalls with the athletics department for the prospective students, athletes, and within the admissions office as a whole.
In fact, there have been instances where we're denying students with perfect test scores because we're looking at the whole application file. Will they be a good fit at the university? Did they convey that in their application materials, not just what's your test score, what's your GPA?
Kimmel's daughter graduated in 2017. And if you see news happening, forward it to Local 4. Just download the Our Quad Cities app. It's available on Apple and Android devices, and it's free. You can get breaking news notifications and also share stories you want to see highlighted here on Local 4. Damaged roads and sewer line repairs could impact your commute in Davenport. East Locust Street will be down to 1 lane in each direction at the intersection of Tremont and Locust Streets. That's because a manhole collapsed and is expected to be fixed by or before Friday, March 29th. West 6th Street will be closed between Telegraph and Howell Streets, and that's because of repairs to a storm sewer line. When those repairs will be fixed and the roads will be opened is unknown at this time. There's a new detour for I-74 starting on Monday. Here's a look at that new traffic pattern. I-74 westbound into Iowa will be closed from Avenue of the Cities all the way to the bridge. All traffic will be detoured onto 19th Street at Avenue of the Cities north to River Drive. Iowa-bound traffic will have to get back on the bridge at the River Drive ramp. And it's just a part of living life along the Rock and Mississippi rivers, but it doesn't mean it's easy. There's already flooding along 2 major waterways in the Quad Cities area. Neighbors are bracing for the annual flood season, but say it's getting harder to keep up. The Rock River reached major flood stage yesterday at about 14.3 feet. It's expected to crest at 16.3 feet this weekend. It only took 2 days after passing in the Illinois House for the Tobacco 21 bill to be put up for vote in the Senate. The legislation that would raise the legal age to buy tobacco products passed by a vote of 39 to 16, but raising the legal age was not what opponents argued against on the floor. The bill also removes all penalties for the possession of tobacco products by somebody under the age of 21. The Senate bill sponsor says she wants all of the attention to be pointed at the people supplying the tobacco products instead of punishing children. But Republicans believe removing the penalties will only encourage underage tobacco use.
Sometimes interdiction by law enforcement and then maybe by a parent and yes, a court to correct a minor's errant ways is a good thing.
But I could not sit another minute longer to hear an argument to vote against this bill is the fact that we're not ticketing and arresting kids.
The bill will now head to Governor J.B. Pritzker's desk. He hasn't indicated yet whether or not he will sign it. Clock Inc. is moving into a home to provide a community center for the LGBT members. Work starts later this year to provide counseling and other resources to the area. They were able to get a location in Rock Island last week. The founder of the group tells us he wants a place where teens can go after school and feel safe. Clock Inc. is also planning to host education events. Hear from some of the LGBT teens about what the center will mean tonight on Local 4 News starting at 4. The Quad Cities Storm doesn't have that many home games left. We talked to the person responsible for bringing hockey back to the Quad Cities as we celebrate women. Gwen Tombergs is the president of the Quad Cities Storm. She brought a different approach to hockey, and she's breaking barriers in the league. Local 4's Grace Runkle tells us how she's changing the game as we continue our Celebrating Women series, and that's tonight at 6 on Local 4 News. Women in Agriculture came together for a conference in Rock Island. It was for women who work in the field or support a family member who works in agriculture. They heard from several speakers covering topics of managing stress on the farm, finding balance in your life, and financial concerns for the future.
We all have diverse backgrounds, we all have diverse interests, and this is one way to kind of define our role as women in agriculture.
Is a part of a farm family and tells us women want to continue learning and growing in the field of agriculture. It will be a superstar ending performance at the Illinois State Fair. That's because Reba McEntire will close out the 2019 Illinois State Fair on Sunday, August 18th. McEntire last played the grandstand in 1999. The Country Music Hall of Fame member has won 16 ACM Awards, 15 American Music Awards, 9 People's Choice Awards, and 6 CMA Awards, along with 3 Grammy Awards as well. Iowa State's moving on to the second round of the Big 12 tourney. They did it with unselfish offense and lockdown defense. But before the game even tripped off, fans were feeling good about their chances. The pep rally at the Power and Light was flooded with cardinal and gold in what has to become an annual tradition for many Cyclone faithful. Iowa State gets top-seeded Kansas State tonight at 6 p.m. Dan Vasco was at the Big Ten tournament in Chicago for Iowa's late-night win over Illinois. You can find expanded coverage and an updated bracket at our Hawkeye Headquarters Facebook page and Twitter page as well. And the Hawkeyes play Michigan tonight at 8:30. And it's St. Patrick's Day weekend, so what will the weather look like during tomorrow's parade in the Quad Cities? Ash has a look at your local pinpoint forecast when we come back.
WHBF is local for you. You're watching a special digital newscast on OurQuadCities.com with Alexandria Ikamoni and meteorologist Ash Simpson. This is Local 4 News Midday, available only on OurQuadCities.com.
We are the believers, we are the hope keepers, living to make a difference. And there's nowhere like this, no, there's nowhere like this. And I love and living, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. Said I love and living, I'm living local and it's everything to me.
And now, meteorologist Ash Simpson with your local pinpoint forecast.
Well, top of the afternoon to you, getting ready for the St. Patrick's Day weekend. Temperatures out there sitting in the mid-40s all through the weekend. Now, today going to be a windy day, but the good news is for both Saturday and Sunday, the winds are going to calm down quite a bit, so it should be pretty nice. Might be a little cool for the parade, but other than that, with that sun beating down on us, I think it's going to be a very, very nice weekend. High pressure is moving in, and all of that rain that we got yesterday is cleared out now, moving off towards the east. And that spells good news for us both weekend weather-wise and also river level-wise. Now, we are going to hit major flood stage here for a lot of our rivers as we go through the weekend. As of right now, the Rock River in both Jocelyn and Moline are sitting at major flood stage. Mississippi near flood stage, but like I said, we're going to get up to that major flood stage here as we get into the weekend and early next weekend. That goes all the way down to Burlington as well. Major flood stage across the board. Wapsie included in that too. Now for the Rock Island part of the Mississippi River, we're expecting it to crest at about 18.5 feet, which is 4 feet below the record. That's good news for us, but as we look out into next week, it's going to stay at major flood stage at least through the end of next week. The Rock River at Moline, that's the biggest concern because because we're looking at the peak crested about 16.3 feet, merely inches away from that record of 16.5 feet. So good news is there's not a whole lot of rain going to be added to that. High pressure is going to move in, and we're going to move into this weather pattern that's very, very dry over the next about week to week and a half, but it is going to be cool here for a few days because of high pressure. High pressure eventually clears it out tonight as well. We'll see some sunshine this afternoon, and then for the weekend, plenty of sunshine expected. 44 for today. Gusty winds continue on, and then tonight temperatures will drop back down into the mid-20s, and we're going to be looking at gusts upwards of 25 miles per hour tonight. Temperatures stay in the mid-40s at least through the first part of next week, back into the mid-50s by later next week.
All right, thanks, Ash. Definitely looking forward to that St. Patrick's Day weekend. Well, thank you for joining us for Local 4 News. Your local news, weather, and sports are available 24 hours a day right here on OurQuadCities.com. And be sure to join us for Local 4 News starting at 4 p.m. Have a great day.
If you see news happen or have a story idea, remember to forward it to 4. You can send your photos, videos, or ideas to us on the Our Quad Cities app or on the Local 4 News Facebook page. See breaking news 24/7 on OurQuadCities.com. Have you watched Local 4 News lately?
Breaking news tonight out of Davenport.
Several shots were fired around 4 this afternoon.
We were first on the scene of the massive fire.
With more local stories than anyone else.
Live in Davenport.
In Rock Island.
The Knox County Courthouse.
Breaking news.
Local 4 News was the only station on the scene.
We were there when they took the suspected drug dealer down.
It's a Local 4 News exclusive.
And the fastest growing source of online news coverage. On air and online. Isn't it time you made Local 4 News local for you?